Well, hey folks, this is John with Ozarks Backroads with you. We're back from our North Carolina trip. We're back in the Ozarks. We're on the mighty white tiger back here today. We've got it with us, and we're going to run around in the government woods on it. So we're going to start out going through a tract of government woods that I've never been in. It's a pretty large section of ground, and it should be interesting. I don't know what's in there, if anything, but we're going to find out. So stick around. We're going to jump on the white tiger and take her for a ride here in the government woods in the South Central Missouri Ozarks. So we're on the big tiger today. Kind of got it out of mothballs. It's been sitting in the Ozarks Backroads World Headquarters garage most of this season. I've only ridden it a couple of times, so I thought I better get on it. I hate to have a bike that I don't ride. That seems like a waste to me. So I'll take her for a ride. I've got some routes mapped out and some places that I've never been before, and I'm always excited to do that. So the big tiger here has been sitting around in the World Headquarters garage most of this season. I've only ridden it a few times, and I think that's a shame. It's such a nice bike. I don't think it's very far down here to our little road. Get a look here and see if anything's coming down the hill. I don't see anything. Got a little creek there. So we had a beautiful trip to North Carolina on the big Ibex. I rode it out from the World Headquarters. Took me 2 days. I spent 2 days going out. I took the back roads and all the little state highways and blacktops across Kentucky and Tennessee. Just a beautiful ride out. Same way coming back. I really enjoyed going to and from the Smoky Mountains just as much as my time I spent in the Smoky Mountains. It was just all good. All right, I think this is our road right here. It's got government gravel on it right here. Well, so far this little road has been a dandy. It's definitely a government, forest road. You can see all this white government gravel that's been put on it over the years. Pretty well manicured. The National Forestry Service, they take pretty good care of their forest roads. They got a little money, they can put some gravel on them and run a grader on them. Keep them up in pretty good shape. Some pretty big timber in here. Stuff's been here for a day or two. This bike's got I've got Sinkholes 804, 805 tires on this bike, and they're just not as good as the Metis, the E07 Plus that I have on the Ibex. Those Metis, they hold the road on these gravel roads and stuff, especially when you get in deep, loose gravel. They just hold the road better than these Sinkholes do. The Sinkholes aren't bad by any means, but those Metis are just better. Of course, being better comes with a price. They're quite a bit higher. Hello, puppies. They didn't even bother to chase me. They're like, man, it's just too hot. Just keep going. We won't even bark at you. I think this is Woolly Booger Holler down here. To our left, there's a creek down there. Well, that's a nice place. Look at that pasture. Ooh, that looks like a pool table. Ooh, I'm heating up. The humidity is unreal. Uh-oh, that's a bobcat right there. I hope I got some of that on video. That was a bobcat. Didn't have a tail. Haven't seen one of them in a long time. Boy, that looks slick. It's green. Yeah, that's just a little stream there. Not much to it. All right, we got to get over here without sliding, and yeah, we got over that. Yeah, when them bridges are green like that, why, be careful. They are slick. I didn't realize we had a paved road down here, but we got a paved road. Whew. Too hot to have the visor down. Too noisy to have the visor up. That's a dilemma. There's some country living right there. So all this route that I've mapped out, at the end of it gets me suspiciously close to my favorite Chinese restaurant in West Plains, Missouri. And that was totally by accident. Look at the government gravel on this. Ooh. Deep and loose. This is where the Metis, those EO7 Plus Metis tires, boy, they do good on this marbly, fresh graveled stuff. They just go straight. These Sinkholes, it just wanders and it's all over the road. You're just kind of skating on top, back and forth. Oh yeah, this is pretty nice. I'm impressed. I'm glad I came this way. I've never been through here. This could be an alternate route for me to get to West Plains from the world headquarters. I could come through here, get to do a little riding when I have to go to West Plains rather than just going on the highway. That's really not that much fun. I don't believe I've met a single car today. That's when you know you're on the right roads, when you meet zero traffic. What do we got here? A big bunch of concrete. There ain't no water in the creek right now. I mean bone dry. Brush grown up in it. Huh. Boy, this is pretty down here along this creek. It's really nice. Reminds me of North Carolina just a little bit, except they got a whole bunch more of it than we do. Everywhere you go out there in the Smoky Mountains is just beautiful. Here in the Ozarks, you do have to kind of hunt and pick and find it. It's not just everywhere, but we got a fair amount. A fair amount of woods for sure. And really close to the world headquarters. That's what I really feel blessed. Being able to live and have all this stuff in my backyard is nice. I need to get out and explore more of it though. I've never been over this, and this is exceptionally good. It's a nice road, beautiful area. Uh-oh, there comes the security force. Oh, they're still after me. There are a couple of giant sinkholes in the woods back there. There's two of them. They look like impact craters right next to each other, and there's kind of a ridge that runs between them, and they're circular, but they're giant sinkholes where a cave had come up. The caves in the Ozarks, they migrate from down deep. They migrate towards the surface, and eventually the roof caves in, and you end up with these big sinkholes. Well, these two are huge. One of them's about 800 or 900 feet across from the top of the rim to the top of the rim, and the other one's about 500 or 600 feet, the one that sits right next to it. pretty big caverns that used to be there in the ground before the top collapsed altogether. Left really big sinkholes. I do have a video. I'll dig it up and put the link, but check that out if you're into big sinkholes and caves and stuff. The size of these are just really impressive, how big these sinkholes are and how deep they are. I'll dig up the link to that old video. Boy, there's no sign or anything right here. I'll find the link to that old video and put it up. Beautiful. They got their hay rolled up as well. They just need to put it away, get it out of the field so the next batch can grow. I wouldn't have wanted to be right there when that came out of the tree and landed. Whew. That'd put a knot on your noggin, even with a helmet on. Yeah, this is definitely the long way to West Plains. If I want to kill a couple of hours, I can turn a 45-minute trip into a 2-hour trip pretty easy. Coming down through here. Easy now, easy, easy. Security guard, he was kind of serious there. He came right for my foot. This is another one of them junkyard looking places. Junker Jake, it says. Yep, it's a salvage yard. I don't know who Jake is. Probably a local celebrity, I'm sure. That's kind of cool. Old place there. Antique gas pump. It's right next to Junker Jake's salvage yard. We're going to turn towards West Plains. I used to work right over here at for the air ambulance people there. They keep changing their name. I don't know what they're calling themselves these days, but anyhow, I used to work in data processing there. I guess it was data processing. We were processing something. Bunch of BS mostly is what we processed, but we were good at it. Oh, I'm starting to smell Moo Goo Guy Pan. We're definitely getting close now. Ooh, we got stuff going on right here. Don't nobody do nothing stupid till I'm out of the way. Okay, do all the stupid stuff you want. So this is the best Chinese joint that there is in West Plains. We've made our arrival. We've had Chin's buffet, and I'm pretty happy. Well, we've had our Chinese, so we're getting out of Dodge here. We got a power sports dealer down here. I want to stop in here and have a look at some motorcycle helmets and see if anything strikes my fancy. All right, I'm gonna go here and see if there's anything I can't live without. I'm sure they got something I can't live without. Had a look there in the store. I really didn't see anything I couldn't live without. I'm kind of looking for a helmet for a dual sport or type helmet with a visor on it. We're on the way back to the world headquarters, kind of, sort of. There's a river down here called the North Fork River. We're just about down to it. There's actually a good-sized creek that dumps into the North Fork right down here. They come together. I was thinking maybe if I can find a spot to work from to pull over down here, we might fly the drone down here on this creek and on the river. I don't think I've ever flown my drone down here. So this is Spring Creek right here, and it dumps into the North Fork River right down there. And this is the North Fork River over here. go over the bridge and get a bit of a look at it. And then Spring Creek dumps into it just downstream there. I know there's a dirt road that runs up along Spring Creek below the bridge. And there's a little bottom field between the road and the creek, but we might be able to fly the drone across there and get a look at Spring Creek and where it runs into the North Fork. And we'll go on this road right here. I've been down here before. I'm just now realizing it, but the little road is just getting more goat traily and goat traily as we go along here. Big ass dog on duty, it says there on that sign. A ton of moss right there. Whoa, that was slick. This would be the place to fly the drone. See if we can get back over this. We better get her an off-road pro here in case we need to go on some gravel or something. So I flew the drone. We're not on the river here, just this little creek, but a fellow that came by that owns this property down through here, he told me to go back to the quarry, and the Spring Creek and the North Fork and this little creek here, they all come together right behind that quarry. So that's where we need to be flying our drone. And that little creek we just flew on, well, he said it was all spring fed. It runs like that year round. It's always running like that. This looks like a pretty good spot right here. If I can get my kickstand down. Oh yeah, we're going to try this again. The river's right there, or at least we hope the river's right there. That's what I was told. Well, folks, I appreciate you all hanging out with me, taking a ride on the Big White Tiger in the government woods. Had a pretty nice day. Got the drone up in the right spot finally here at the end and got a look at the creek. Those old highway bridges we were looking at there were built in the late 1920s, so those are pretty old bridges. I invite you all to come back and see me. We'll go somewhere, do something. Till I catch up with you again, you all take care of yourselves. We'll catch you next time.